And we first cut across to breaking news coming in as the Taliban is celebrating the withdrawal of US troops. We now get to this latest video that shows how an aircraft at Kabul airport was destroyed. We'll try and describe every frame in this video in further detail, but this is a new video that has emerged that shows how choppers have been destroyed partially. And this is what is being done by the Taliban as they are celebrating the withdrawal of US troops. More fingers pointing at Joe Biden as further developments are trickling in. This is a new video where you see how the aircraft has been destroyed in Kabul, and many such videos that have now emerged. Taliban is celebrating the pullout of US troops. We'll try and get you further details on this video as remember, we are tracking every single development that is ongoing in Afghanistan after the pullout of the US troops. We also showed you that video where a man, or rather a body that was seen hanging from a rope in an American chopper that the Taliban had flown after the exit of the United States. And now this is the latest video that has emerged of an aircraft in Kabul that has been destroyed, and many such videos where show how choppers have been destroyed partially. Major General Harsha Kakkar now with me on the phone line. Thank you for speaking to Republic. And just the turn of events, fingers pointing at Joe Biden, literally like America has given a free way to the Taliban. Your thoughts on it?
Firstly, yes, to some extent they have. They would have left this equipment basically for the Afghan forces, but with the way they collapsed, it's landed up in the hands of the Taliban. Now the Taliban has got this. How much of the equipment is functional will remain a question. A few helicopters have been seen flying, but what is the number that is there? There are also reports that, after all these would be controlled to some extent by U.S. technology. How many of them are operational? How are they going to get them into the air? Where are they going to get the pilots from? Most easily, in case these are seen flying, then it's evident that Pakistan or Turkey has got its hands on it. And if that be the case, then the fingers will point in the right direction for those who need to be acted upon. So now let's see how effective are they in employing this equipment. Definitely, as far as the Humvees and the rest of it are concerned and the small arms are concerned, it will be a global matter of concern because this will land up in the wrong hands. But as far as the aircraft and helicopters are concerned, how many of these can be made operational? How many of these can be flying, and who's going to be flying them? So these are questions that we will come to know with time, and the right fingers will point out.
These are certainly questions, but fact still remains that a lot of equipment is left back in Afghanistan. Taliban is entering the premises, examining the choppers, examining the defense equipment, and although the US claiming that they have disabled most of it, but this certainly has left the Taliban with all this equipment, and they are claiming to the world that it is the defeat of the United States.
That is a fact that the US, the way it pulled out and the way it acted, it's actually indicated that it is unwilling to fight a battle. It is withdrawing from a battle which it has fought for all these years, and it has left behind people who supported them. Even the dogs which were there as part of the US team have been left behind. So this is actually an indication of defeat of the US, similar to what happened in Saigon. So it's a repeat in history, and as compared to the Saigon time, in the world of social media and open international communication, the impact on the U.S. is going to be far more than it ever was in history. So the U.S. is going to face a brunt. It's going to face doubts on its reliability as an ally, as a support nation. And I think as a lesson which the U.S. has learned is going to stop interfering in other nations' affairs.
So whether they've really learned any lessons or something, only time will tell. And let's also understand that US President Joe Biden will be addressing Americans in a while. But fact still remains that, yes, you said there are questions over how much of this equipment is functioning, how much of it can the Taliban really use, but there isn't much of a choice at this point, except for the fact that the world waits and watches to what the Taliban will do next.
There is no doubt about it. In fact, the UNSC resolution, which was issued today when the Indian Foreign Secretary was there, even the comments made by the Indian permanent representative, as also the US, indicate that the world is looking in some form to engage with the Taliban. It is looking, because these are the official statements, and if it's coming out of the UNSC and India signing it as the head of the UN, as the present head of the UNSC, it's an indicator that to some extent we are along with the world on this.
All right, Major General Harsha Kakkar, thank you for speaking to Republic this afternoon. And we continue to get more voices as our broadcast is purely focusing on all these videos that are now emerging from Afghanistan. Today is the very day when the United States has withdrawn its troops, sticking to the 31st August deadline, and the Taliban primarily claiming victory, saying that the world is watching how the United States has been defeated. But there is a lot of concern over the equipment that is left behind, because much of this is defense equipment that can be of a lot of use to the Taliban if it is functional and if they want to really use these resources for themselves. Major General Ashwin is now with me on the phone line. Thank you for speaking to Republic. Your thoughts, sir, on what is happening in Afghanistan today, especially the concern over the equipment that is left behind and what the Taliban can do with it.
See, as far as Afghanistan is concerned, America has left almost about $85 billion the weapons. This will be utilized or misused by the Taliban and its proxies. Today, what happened is that it has got M4 rifle, M16, it has got air defense weapon, artillery pieces, it has got mine-protected vehicles, all combat vehicles. It has got a 17th modern Air Force left over with 200 aircraft, with the latest 27 as a Black Hawk. So helicopter. So what it means is that Afghanistan may not need so many weapons at all. There is a chances of they coming toward Pakistan. Pakistan may pay a 50% of price and take these weapons. And these are the latest NATO weapons. There is a report that America has tampered with their software. But if they have tampered it, also there are a mechanism to rewind it. It can be still made it on road. So therefore, there is a danger of now these weapons going toward Pakistan, which can use conventionally against India. Also, Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaise Mohammed terrorists, which were there, which have fought along with Taliban against Afghan forces, can also pick up these M4 and M16, assault rifles. Remember in 89-90, when Soviet Union have withdrew from Afghanistan, the Mujahideen brought the Stinger missile and all of them came toward Kashmir. And that is the time when the militancy and terrorism started. So all these terrorists, 10 to 15,000, equipped with a modern assault rifle, can come toward India, Jammu and Kashmir. And so we have to alert and live. Third thing is that these weapons can also go toward China. China is mastering in reverse engineering. So China can make such weapons at much lower cost by reverse engineering.
Yes.
At the same time, we'll come to know as to what sort of weapon and what is the philosophy of America in making these weapons. So overall, it is a big problem, and this is going to be a new challenge. So many weapons coming to Taliban, then flowing to Pakistan or to China is a direct threat to India. And in time to come, we have to be very vigilant for that.